Hey everyone, Kane here. I know, many people want me to review Zarin in full, however, I do not have him 4 stars to see his full power in my formation. So until I am able to get him there, I will be making videos how to improve people's formations fighting other players. How to use small synergies that may be very useful for you. In this video, we shall go through a few formations that quite a few people may be using, and most likely, is not working at all. First, we will start with the enemy Sandro. While fighting this hero, the biggest tip that you can ever get is to not put any 9x units on your field. Even with Zarin giving invincibility. All because, one implosion will just nearly kill the unit from full. If you don't believe me, here is a picture of my Inferno caster, who is 9x, has 320,000 health. Come the fight, she dies 10 seconds in the match, from a Sandro user. Using her with Zarin, it depends how much mana you have when you start the battle. Gog can die before Zarin ultimate, or she can survive one rotation, dies on the next. And because she gets stunned before her trigger appears, she does not do any damage at all. Thus against a Sandro user, this unit serves almost no purpose to be in the formation. At least, for a long while, if at all. Before we continue further, many of you may not know, but most, if not all units, have trigger skills. They are cast with about 9 to 15 second intervals. Some have 30 seconds, like Green Dragon and so on. However, if the unit gets stunned before the time the skill should be cast, the skill will not be cast, reducing a lot of the damage from your formation. For example, because I do not field any 9x units, the first priority target for enemy Sandro will be my 4x Afriti. If I place Afriti with, let's say, Phoenix, Sandro will stun Afriti and Phoenix a few times, and I know that Phoenix trigger hits 12 to 15 seconds in the match, and during this time, if Phoenix is stunned, the trigger will be skipped, and you will lose out on a lot of damage. To fix this, you need to move Afriti away, in another lane, so it can soak the stuns alone. If you are using Zarin, Afriti is no longer that insane damage dealer with Flame Feaster, but instead, you want to put on the Broiling Impact. I am sure many of you enjoyed Afriti trigger, who could one-shot, or nearly one-shot entire lines. However, if you are using Zarin, Devil benefits a lot from having all enemy field burned. Same for Phoenix. Both of these units can do huge amounts of damage if you make Afriti from a damage dealer to a debuffer. Here is a small example where I put Afriti in to soak the damage and the stuns alone. And what kind of damage would Devil and Phoenix do? Phoenix trigger was able to do about 50% plus damage from full onto the enemy cavalry by having Afriti burn on them. And that damage was without a critical hit. If it did indeed critical, there is a possibility they could just be deleted from full health. So that is something for you to keep thoughts on. While Devil bleeds entire field for 1% health damage per 2 seconds, double for burning targets, and if Afriti burns the whole enemy field, that adds about 10% health damage on entire enemy field, just from the Devil's field-wide bleed. I do not think I have ever shown all of the powers of the units I field. So before we go into the fights, here are the power numbers of all my units. Alright, so moving on to the fight. This is my usual formation at the moment. Sure, many people say that it is just WoW 2 tanks 1 lane, much creativity. However, I am not going for the 2 tanks in a lane strategy. The reason is, Dendroid and Green Dragon have a good synergy, same as Black Dragon and Phoenix after that. You have 2 good synergies in just that 1 lane that would overpower those 2 casters to immense levels. What happens in this fight is, I send Devil to take care of the enemy backline, more specifically the Lich, and then the White, and leave the 1x lane to deal with the charges on its own. What this does is, Dendroid buys enough time for Black Dragon to use its trigger, for it to gain more damage reduction, the more he casts it. And when Dendroid dies, Black Dragon becomes an even bigger tank than the tree. And since it is magic immune, and also does damage, the enemy hero will not kill it, and the troops will barely do any damage to it. When it comes to Zarin formations, you need to make sure that your devil will stay alive and keeps killing the enemy backline and your frontline stands, so they would not focus your devil while he does his work. When I am showing these formations, I am not showing it to flex or show you how good I am. This is more showing you that you can counter enemy formations and beat them. Defense does not matter, because they will do the same to you. They will counter your formation, and you will lose anyway. Offense matters, especially in the arena before it resets. A few seconds before it does, you need to kick the enemy out for more income daily. For the sake of showing you, I can change my formation around, still trying to counter the enemy Sandro, and see what happens. I was using Angel in most formations previously, but with adding Zarin, if the Angel condemns the back line and turns more than one unit to focus Devil, it will single-handedly lose you the fight alone. But this formation was what I used previously to counter, so let's see if it works here. Devil is doing his work in the back line as usual. However, the middle tank lane, the Dendroid, is slowly starting to drop, and there is no damage to finish off the charges. I think my Angel died less than a minute into the fight too. The damage Angel would do is negated by Vampire's heal, who can do about 30 to 50% heal on everything around him every 10 to 15 seconds. So fielding an Angel in here is no longer feasible for me, and even a 3-star green dragon will perform better, as I just need a little bit more damage to make sure that the chargers either die or are close to dead. Unfortunately, the fights I do not win ever with this formation. I can clear one enemy line, but then I get stuck on the tank with the Devil, and the Phoenix lane is not able to finish the charges. Angel dies, and it goes downhill from there on. Either I lose because not enough time, or I lose because they kill me. I tried quite a lot of variations, and this had the best results, because some of the times, all 3 minutes ended, as only tanks were alive. In conclusion, it might be a little far-fetched, but this formation works for me with Dragon Mutair, as well as Zarin. This formation works against Astral compositions, same for Kilga compositions, Sandro too. The 1x unit lane, you will need to put in the lane where you would have Naga. And both Phoenix and Green Dragon will end up killing the Naga in around 20 to 30 seconds, if you are using Dragon Mutair, or a little bit longer if Zarin. I cannot give a full take on the Zarin yet, as my Zarin is 3 stars. I still need about 3 or 4 weeks, until I am able to 4-star it and see for certain. Devil is also 5 stars. Since we already have a teased Devil Awakening, the first skill of it will be the difference maker in damage. It will do 200% damage on the first target with the jump, and gain 5-second invincibility for every ultimate trigger that you do. I am not sure if it stacks, but we will have to test in the future. There are other 2 skills that were teased as well, but this one is the easiest to get and the one that will cause the most impact. There are a few more awakenings, such as Pit Fiend, who will be a huge game changer for Inferno composition. Here are her awakened skill effects. They are just beyond overpowered, especially with the way Inferno faction works. If it kills a target, it just snowballs from that. Thanks for watching, hope this video helped you out, and stay safe.